Hello. Seems my chat is still connecting. Why? But hello, everyone. How are you? How has your day been? You still busy at work? Hope it's going well. And you are relaxing at the moment, and you are here with me. Welcome, and I hope that you find the time spent here entertaining. Uh, can't spell clear. So, that worked. Uh, we saw some disturbing things in Sherlock Holmes last night, so I decided to add mature content in my title, just so no one has any misgivings about that. Floating so high above him. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so, without further ado, let us get into it. Mhm. Hello. Yes, I am. Double check that. And I actually need to check something else out. A second. It doesn't look like there was muted audio last night, so hopefully I can just continue as is. Zoom. Oh, I remember Whitechapel being somewhere around here. Again. Didn't make your bed, Sherlock. Daily report. The Marquis's fake necklace. At the moment of writing these lines, the famous Samoan necklace belonging to the Marquis of Conyngham has still not been recovered. Our editorial staff remain reserved as to the role of that famous detective Sherlock Holmes has played in the affair. For this is not the first time that Mr. Holmes has compromised himself during the course of one of his so-called investigations. When recalling the second stain case, the affair is indeed strangely similar to the Marquis of Conningham's necklace misfortune. Indeed, Mr. Trelawney Hope, Secretary of State for European Affairs, had a document of extreme value in his safe box, which had been stolen a few days earlier. Who, if not Sherlock Holmes, could have replaced the document in Mr. Hope's safe? What was the point of the trick? It was evident that Sherlock Holmes knew the identity of the person blackmailing the gentleman's wife, Lady Hilda Trelawney Hope, guilty of a love affair with another man. The sinister blackmailer, a certain Lucas, had a letter that revealed Lady Trelawney Hope's double life. He wanted the Secretary of State's wife to give him a precious document belonging to her husband. In exchange for the love letter, he obeyed him. But then Lucas was found murdered, and Mr. Holmes managed to find the compromising letter without any difficulty on the crime scene after it had been meticulously searched by the police. Does that not strike you as strange? Mr. Holmes knew where the hiding place was, without any doubt. As to the motive for the murder, no need to ask who might profit from the crime, eradicate a cumbersome accomplice, and thus appear as the hero in the eyes of the authorities. Evidently, the transcription of the affair, undertaken by Mr. Holmes' friend, Dr. Watson, gives another explanation entirely. But is he truly objective? We may allow ourselves a little doubt on that score. Oh, Farley.
Nothing interesting. I cannot leave now.
Then what is there to do still?
I need something.
Alright, here we go. Analyze the evidence, add liquid. From the test tube. All active agents to work out all of its characteristics. No.
I haven't finished my analysis.
Drawn to. White to brown. Hey! Smithy! Hello there!
But I was simply going to ask for
Hey,
a
Ruby.
teeny tiny glass of water.
Fair enough. You have a good look, Ruby. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, Smithy, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Is this the first time? I don't seem to remember your name. You're the first time. Welcome. You're most welcome here. You're busy with the month of Sherlock Holmes. I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, first, how did you find me? Oh, understandable, Ruby. One, two, two. Oh, all right. Fair enough. Yeah, I started it last night. So, wait, one, two. There we go. It was in the discovered section, and I just clicked on it. Ah, interesting. Welcome. So, basically, what's happened so far, the start of the game was basically you discovering who stole a necklace. And basically, after that, the necklace was replaced with a fake. And a person in the newspaper is saying that Sherlock Holmes is the person responsible for. Oh, wow. That's a good sleep, Ruby. You're the person responsible for the switch. And then after that, we went to an abbey where a bishop is who was murdered, but Sherlock knew about it before anyone was. All right, Ruby, enjoy. Before any authorities was alerted by the Reverend. So now we're trying to figure out what this bottle is that we found. We know the people came from a graveyard opposite a hospital in Whitechapel. So that's how far we are in the game. Just a quick catch up. No.
I must analyze the...
3 brown, 3 green. Not.
Poison, and apparently very virulent.
The results of the analysis of the poison administered to the Bishop of Knightsbridge, a substance that provokes a heightened aggression, close to madness, death by cardiac arrest. Interesting.
Poison. Discreet, efficient, and only detectable via a thorough post-mortem.
Have you been able to isolate the active components, Holmes?
Not with any certainty. This toxic substance surpasses my own knowledge in the field. It is without doubt the work of an expert chemist.
A chemist and a criminal.
As you say, please find my monograph on poisoners of the last 30 years.
Yay. This room.
This bust was used to fool Colonel Moran during the case of the empty house.
Okay. Inkle. Sorry, my cat's trying to find a spot to lie down on. I can't see the screen. Darling bull. Oh. Please, Linkle, I want to see the screen. I can't play without seeing the screen. Let's see.
And this is...
Yes, I smell like animals.
General practice. General...
Go. Sorry. Sorry, go. But you are in the way.
Here is where I write my stories about Holmes's cases, and I've got work to do.
File in 452. Hans Schillman, aka the Rat Killer. So, Scotland Yard, Hans Schillman, aka Rat Killer, nationality German. Date and place of birth 10 January 1839 in Stuttgart. Arrested 5 May 1888 in London. Where imprisoned, London, sentenced life. Found guilty of the following charges: poisoning, attempted poisoning, theft and receiving chemical substances, murder and attempted murder, kidnapping with aggravated circumstances, cruelty to animals, hit and run, illegal use of chemicals, manipulation of the weak, drunk in charge. Yo, that's quite a list. History and description of the individual. Despite numerous mental problems and neuroses, Hans Schillman is an exceptional chemist and equally remarkable mathematician. At the age of 21, his unstable and violent character resulted in his expulsion from the University of Vienna, where he had excelled in his chosen subjects. After being expelled, he was not heard of again for 4 years. He was captured and arrested in June 1864 during the case X2552A, the Stuttgart poisoning, in which he was the principal subject. He escaped before being sentenced and vanished again. A number of elements suggested that he had found refuge in London. An investigation undertaken by Scotland Yard found him living under the stolen identity of one Leonardo Itizia. However, the officers who came to arrest him were poisoned and he escaped again. Our informers picked up on his trail again in 1880 at an ancient factory converted into a clandestine chemical factory. Schillman was absent during the search. From the documents found inside the laboratory, we learned he had a diabolical plan in mind. His goal was to poison the drinking water reservoirs in several parts of the city. To this day, his motives remain unclear. His arrest on 5 May 1888 was due entirely to chance. He was recognized by a police officer while stumbling around in a state of inebriation, shouting of his intention to poison the entire city. None of the interrogations following his arrest have provided any conclusive information. Hans Schillman broke his silence only with incoherent comments. I think that's what he wants.
Holmes's homemade analyzer.
According to these documents, Hans Schielmann, known as the Rat Killer, was considered the greatest specialist in chemical poison in the world.
Is he at liberty?
Happily, no. He has been held in the high-security wing of London's Westgate prison for many years now.
Then he cannot be the one who concocted the poison.
Don't dismiss him too quickly, Watson. According to Scotland Yard, the man is exceptionally intelligent. For the greatest criminals, prison is but a mere obstacle. Let's plan a little visit to see Mr. Schielmann tomorrow. I cannot leave now.
Eh? Oh, Linko. Oh. Sorry, my cat is very energetic tonight.
Let us look at our deduction board, Watson.
Oh, okay. That will help with that. Bishop tore his aggressor's finger off. Sorry, with his teeth. Bishop wanted to kill himself. Bishop fought his aggressor savagely. Bishop went mad. And both of these are kind of, let's say that one. Poison. The flask contains a poison that causes madness. Murderers tortured the bishop with the... Murderers had poison that causes madness. The bishop's murderers are vampires. Okay.
Perfect. Well done, Watson. Our board is finished. It confirms that the bishop's murderers work for one person, who, amongst other things, possesses a very sophisticated poison. They therefore act for someone more educated than themselves. You remember Wiggins and his gang, the Baker Street irregulars?
Yes, the street urchins, whom you employ upon occasion, and Wiggins is their leader.
Yes. Well, I have hired their services again. I have instructed them to find out the address of the bishop's nephew.
I think he's here.
Thank you so much for the follow. And enjoy your dinner.
Hello, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins,
Thank
my
you so
old
much
friend,
for stopping
have you
by. I
found the
appreciate it,
information for which
Smithy.
the good Dr. Watson is going to pay you?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, it was easy.
Very well, I understand. Here are a few pennies.
Thanks, Dr. Watson. The man you're looking for lives near Kensington.
Does he live alone?
Yes, but he rents a room for an old lady.
Did she see you?
Same
No,
to
Mr.
you.
Holmes. No one saw me.
Bye.
Perfect. Watson, give our young friend another shilling as a reward for his discretion.
Here we go again. But of course... I'm falling asleep, Holmes. Aren't you tired?
No, I have an exceptional constitution. I can't remember ever having been fatigued by work. Idleness, on the other hand, exhausts me completely. Go to bed, Watson. The night will be short. We leave at dawn.
Wow, this is a real adventure. It's exciting. I like it better than made-up stories. I want to know what happens next. Keep reading.
I don't think this is the type of book that kids should read.
Ah, I want to listen to... My readers must excuse me if I do not describe in full detail here the terrible images which haunted me that night.
I had a sense that something extraordinary would take place, but I was scarcely prepared for the reality of it. Good morning, Holmes. Did you get any rest?
I did not attempt to sleep.
Have you managed to come to any conclusions?
I think that we might follow 3 trails. We can visit Whitechapel to try to discover the identity of the murderers by making inquiries at Dispensary 4661 and at the Whitechapel Street Cemetery.
The poison trail seems more important to me. We should perhaps go to Westgate Prison first to see Hans Schielman.
Yes, and let us not forget the bishop's irascible nephew, whose address we now have, thanks to my Baker Street irregulars. I have located each place on our map of London.
Holmes, let me remind you that we still have not been officially instructed to investigate this affair.
Ah, well, we will just have to hide that small detail.
Ham. Oh wait, there is still ham, right? Ham and mayonnaise. Unless there's cheese. Sorry, just talking to Z-Man quickly. Supper time. Okay, map. Fail.
Westgate Prison. Here we are at the famous Westgate Prison, one of the oldest and surest in the kingdom.
I've heard that it is soon going to be demolished. Don't you find it strange that it still houses...
There's nothing
sorry.
strange about it, Watson. The name of this prison is linked with numerous failed escape attempts. As long as it stands, the criminals will fear it.
Good morning, gentlemen. Are you expected?
No, but we wish to meet with one of your prisoners, Hans Schielman.
I'm afraid that at the moment that is impossible. Access to the cells is controlled strictly. You can't go there without permission from the director.
Then would you be so good as to announce us? I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson.
Famous Holmes and Watson. What an honour. My name is Brighton.
Thank you!
Frank Brighton. I'm afraid that I can't announce you. I'm not allowed to leave my post, under any circumstances. But I'm sure that the director won't refuse to see you, even without an appointment. Do you see the corridor behind the reception? Follow it to the secretary's office. You'll find him there.
Thank you, Warden Brighton. One last thing. Hans Schielman received any visits lately?
None. And I'm sure because I've dealt with receiving visitors for several weeks
look,
now.
they're playing in the nice clean water.
I volunteered because it's a calm post to be in. We don't get many visitors and it gives me time to write. Just like you, Dr. Watson.
We did it.
I enjoy literature and the...
Very good. Thank you.
Oh, okay, bitch.
Do you hear that shit?
That
Got
was
the water
very
for you.
impolite,
Get
Holmes.
your own fucking
That
water,
man
then.
admires our
Pack
work.
the canteen
You
up.
could have given
Go
him...
dig a well or
Another
something, Doc.
time. Let's go and meet the director of the prison.
I'm gonna turn the water off. Let me turn it off.
There you go.
Just
We
turn it
should
off.
Go back to that water while I piss in it now.
Go turn your water off, you dick.
Sorry, but this area is prohibited without a pass. Please leave.
Yeah.
We must see the prison director quickly.
Administration. Alright. Ugh.
Closed. Closed. Closed.
This one?
Locked. I can feel a draft. This must be the access to the inside yard. Closed. closed.
The locker room. This is where the prisoner's things are kept.
Let us go to the secretary's office. Ahem. Good morning, miss.
Oh, excuse me, I dropped off. Good morning, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We would like to talk to the director.
I'll just go and see if he can receive you.
Closet. Closet. Closed for business.
Tiredness,
Closed to the
pale
general
face,
pub-
stiffness.
Closed until further
I
notice.
believe that the young lady is expecting
Nice
a
to
happy
you.
event.
It would seem so.
Sorry, I just don't know what it was saying. Tiredness, pale face, stiffness. I believe that young lady is expecting a happy event.
This charming secretary is Miss Jenny Patterson.
This small rack is for urgent letters to be given immediately to the director.
Hot tea.
The director's office, Mr. P. Patterson. No need to go in there. Strange. The director and the secretary have the same name.
I'm delighted to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I am Paul Patterson, director of this establishment. You wish to talk to me? I hope this unexpected visit isn't to announce bad news.
No, do not worry. We are investigating an affair of the highest importance, one which could potentially affect the security of the kingdom. Therefore, it is imperative that we interview one of your prisoners, Hans Schielmann.
Hans, the rat killer. He's been in here for a long while now, and he's had no contact with the outside. How could he be involved in such an affair?
That is what we would like to find out.
And you have been commissioned by Scotland Yard?
Evidently.
Very well. I have complete confidence in you, Mr. Holmes. I will draw up a pass that you should give to Warden James in the guard room. He will show you to the
Connection issues.
cells.
He said that the underwater cable
Thank you,
might be repaired
Director.
by now.
Keep me
It
informed of
seems
your progress.
much better.
And if there is anything else, don't hesitate to let me know.
We shall certainly do so.
Because if we miss later, I'm gonna. No, it seems to be better. It's just this game is a bit laggy, and Z-Man is busy with work, so that's why he hasn't streamed recently.
Miss Patterson, you have the same name as the director. Are you related?
Come, Watson. Anyone who might have made the slightest study of anthropology would have noted the similarities between the young lady and her father.
Mr. Holmes is right, I am his daughter, but he doesn't like to talk about it. I think he's afraid of being accused of favoritism.
I'm sure it was your qualities alone which secured you this position, miss.
If you must try out your powers of seduction, then what do you say about using them on the rat killer? Goodbye, miss.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Oh, poor Watson. We're gonna try streaming later today. That's what I'm asking. Wanna know how much frustration to gear up for? Oh, it seems to. I mean, we did like raiding and things on Final Fantasy 14 the other
Staff
day,
cloakroom.
and it seemed relatively stable. So, fingers crossed.
Cleaning materials, otherwise known as a broom cupboard. Nothing of interest here.
Sorry, but this area is prohibited without a pass. Please leave.
I have a pass. See my pass.
Ah, you've got a pass for the high security area. It's the door at the end. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Are these like whips and... I understand the ball and chain, but those look like whips and stuff.
This information board is almost empty. Strange, in view of the activity in the prison. It is potassium nitrate, isn't it?
Yes. Saltpeter or whatever.
It is about the signing in book. It is about...
Oh, thanks you. You too for later. Thanks for the lurk.
It is the guard's guest book, perhaps for distinguished guests.
My name is Peter James, Chief Warden, and this is Deputy Warden O'Sullivan.
I imagine I will find Hans Schielmann behind these bars in the basement.
Yes, the high security cells are down there.
Is this the only access?
Yes, there was a second door at the end of the main hall, but it's been blocked up as a security measure.
Thank you, Chief Warden.
At your service. If you require further information, Warden Mackenzie will help you. He's at his post in the basement.
Mr. Holmes, I am a huge admirer of yours. I have followed all your cases and successes with the greatest interest.
What enthusiasm. Have you ever thought of a career in the police force?
Have I thought about it? It's my dream. I'm going to try my chance once this establishment closes down. I'm studying hard for the examination to get into police school.
Tell me about the prisoners, Warden James.
We only have a few. As you might be aware, the days of this place are numbered. Therefore, we no longer receive new prisoners. Those who are already here are among the most dangerous in London. We have 3 at the moment. Hans the Rat Killer and the Flint Brothers.
The Flint Brothers?
Yes, 2 rather simple-minded maniacs who detest one another despite their relation. They massacred their parents and decapitated their neighbours. It took more than 9 policemen to overpower them.
Okay.
There isn't any information on the notice board. Should there be notes about duties?
Yes, there should be, but Miss Patterson hasn't put up the guard's assignments for this week yet. It's not like her. Usually she does it first thing in the morning. Without these instructions, the guard in the basement won't be changed. I would go and get them, but I don't want the director to catch me there. He's very strict. Doesn't like us wandering around when we're on duty. And it would get his daughter in trouble. He's not being very pleasant with her at the moment. And I don't want to make things worse.
How does not having the information about guard duty stop you from ensuring the watch in the basement?
Because of the system of opening the doors, Mr. Holmes. As you can see, they are equipped with a mechanical timer which answers to a code. When the timer stops, that is to say at the end of each watch, the doors block automatically and the code is reset. It is therefore impossible to open the doors without the new code.
And who has the code?
Only the guard who takes the new watch. He's the only one who can open the envelope that it's kept in. He learns it by heart and destroys the message.
Very clever. But let's look at the limits of this procedure. One false note, and the system falls apart.
See you later, Mr. Holmes.
I can get the...
Anything else, gentlemen?
This small rack
So we can't ask her about... No security there.
This is the entrance to the ordinary prisoner's cell. There's no point in going there.
The guards must spend long hours here.
This device must be the alarm.
Here's the famous high-security area.
Warden Mackenzie, at your service, sir.
Good morning, Warden. I have a pass which allows me to speak with prisoner Hans.
Very well. It is the cell at the end to your left. I'd advise you to walk in the middle of the corridor. Warden Mackenzie.
Hey, brother. Lucky for you that they caught you before I rearranged your dirty little rat's face.
Hans Schielmann, I require some information from you.
So, who do we have here? The celebrated Sherlock Holmes himself. Do you know that for all the time I have spent rotting in here, you are my first and only visitor? I think this is cause for celebration. A confrontation between two geniuses, two extraordinary minds.
I'm afraid that you are not quite as great a chemist as you believe you are, Mr. Schielmann. I will not say that you never were. No, it was certainly true once. But you see, while you are whiling away your days in here, it appears that someone on the outside is at the point of surpassing you, if that is not already the case.
Yes, I heard about that. A chemical poison that eats away at the flesh and provokes hysteria. I recognize talent when I see it, but it's only a matter of time before I win back my laurels, believe me.
What can you tell me?
That depends on what you can bring to me.
What do you want?
Do you know why I am treated so harshly? For my meals, I am given nothing but a hunk of bread. And even then, not just any sort.
Get to the point.
Never interrupt me! Where was I? Oh yes, the bread. Did you know that with a little rye yeast, a pinch of moss, certain cockroach secretions, just enough light and damp, with a few other ingredients that I will keep quiet about, I succeeded in poisoning half the staff here. Unfortunately, a little something was omitted, which would have made the results fatal. Instead, it merely caused acute attacks of stress and powerful hallucinations. Even so, I got a great laugh out of watching them cry like babies when they saw their most primitive fears materializing
Oh
before
my goodness,
them.
this is a madman.
You are a monster, Mr. Shielman.
Thank you.
It wasn't a compliment.
But of course it was! You others, you ordinary, narrow-minded people, you are afraid of anything that you cannot comprehend. You call me a monster because what you find impossible to face is just the slightest fraction of my genius. If by monster you mean someone who is nothing like you, then it is a compliment.
What do you need?
Very little. Just something to write with. You see, my brain races like an engine with too many thoughts. I see them crackle and explode into thousands of formulae right in front of me. What a torture not to be able to write them down. What a hell to see them vanish just as quickly as they appear to me. Just bring me something that I can write with.
That's all. That seems an easy enough request to fulfill.
But listen, I don't want a vulgar inkwell and a pigeon's feather. No, I need material fit for my talent. I want my ink pen. Bring it to me, and I will be happy to pass on to you a little of my knowledge of modern chemistry.
Where is it?
It was confiscated upon my arrival here. I suppose it might be in my locker, in the locker room. Leave me now, and don't come back without my ink pen. See you soon, Mr. Holmes.
Look like I can talk to the other brother.
Warden Mc...
I'm glad to have been of service, Mr. Holmes.
Can you tell me where I might find the locker room?
In the corridor that leads to the director's office. That's where the prisoners' civilian stuff is held. But seeing the length of their sentences, they've little chance of ever getting it back.
Can you open the locker room for us? We would like to inspect Shielman's personal items.
No, Mr. Holmes. I'm not responsible for that. You will find the keys in the Secretary's office.
See you later, Mr. Holmes.
Ink.
Miss, may we borrow the keys to the locker room?
You will need authorization from the director to open that door. If you wait a moment, then I will inform him.
We will wait, thank you.
Anything new, Mr. Holmes? Is your investigation advancing? Mr. Holmes, have you been able to get what you wanted from our lodger?
Not yet. We must first cast light upon a crucial point, and for that we require your help again.
What can I do?
We need to examine Shielman's civilian clothing.
Very well, but be extremely careful.
What do you mean?
In that madman's compartment, you will find a strange little coded case which refused point blank to open when he was incarcerated. We did try to force it, but without success.
Didn't you ask the experts?
Of course we did. Experts from Scotland Yard came to examine it, but they came to the conclusion that it was better that the case remained shut than tamper with it too much.
I see. They were afraid that some poison or other might escape if it was opened.
Exactly. Bear in mind that this man is an evil genius, a master poisoner, and that his poisons are never ordinary. Here's the key to the locker room. I give you the authorization to open it.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
Miss Patterson, the guards are still waiting for you to put up the duty list. Do it as soon as possible. Without it, the changing of the guard cannot take place. Or had you forgotten?
Dry your tears, miss. I'm certain that your father didn't mean to hurt you.
Mr. Watson, I can't put up the duty list. And when he finds out, he'll be furious.
Why can't you?
It's in my locker, in the cloakroom, and I've lost the key.
Your aunt.
Say no more, Holmes. As you keep repeating, time is against us. Let's go and look at the things in the rat killer's locker.
But what could I have done with the keys?
We must go. The locker room. This is where the prisoner's things are kept.
Closed. Here is the locker of our friend, Hans, the mad scientist.
Oh, what a jumble.
Blotting paper. A paper knife. This solid box must hold a precious object. Let us see. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do. No, I can't do that. Blotting paper. Blotting.
As soon as the catastrophe came to be known, the alarm from mouth to mouth was blown, and the cry rang out all over town, "Good heavens, Tay Bridge is blown down," and a passenger train from Edinburgh, which filled all people's hearts with sorrow and made them for to turn pale, because none of the passengers were saved to tell the tale. How did the disaster happen in the last Sabbath day of 1879? Which will be remembered for a very long time. William Topaz McGonagall.
A poem in Hans's handwriting. Blotting paper. There is something interesting here. No, I can't do. This cannot be a simple coincidence. No, I can't do. Nothing of interest here. There is something interesting here. I can't do that. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't do. Nothing of interest here. I can't do that. Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here.
Calcium, right, helium, salt, calcium,
Perfect.
What is written on that note, Holmes?
Later, Watson, later. We can give Hans his pen. Staff cloakroom. Closed.
What a bunch of incompetents. Oh, if I was as unprofessional as that, there would be murderers running all over the town.
What's the matter? Are you a patient of Dr. Watson?
Very amusing.
I was going on about the dry cleaners in Westgate Street. They've just delivered my ceremonial uniform in the middle of my duty, when I've told them 1,000 times not to bring it until after 6 in the evening.
A ceremonial uniform? You've been promoted?
No, and that's not about to happen. No, I've been invited to a wedding. I mean, I hope to be. I'm in trouble. If the director sees that I've left my post, I'll be sacked without pay.
Give it to me, Warden Brighton. I'll take care of it for you.
Really? Thanks a lot. Here's the key to the cloakroom and that of my locker. I'm really grateful, Mr. Holmes.
What have you got in mind, Holmes? You're not doing this out of kindness, are you?
No, out of curiosity. We will be able to access the cloakroom with these keys.
Mm-hmm.
Closed. Closed.
But I've got the key. Oh. Wrong key.
Here is Brighton's locker. Bicarbonate of soda. Brighton must have an upset stomach, caused by stress without a doubt. The name on the key is Jenny Patterson. That is interesting.
Look like it.
Bicarb.
But what could I have done with the keys?
This small...
Hot tea.
So I'll give it to her.
Let us examine Miss Patterson's locker. The lock on this box is rather sophisticated.
Incredible. Is Jenny hiding something? It's really very clever. Little Jenny is astonishing.
Brighton Rocket. Jenny Patterson, Frank Brighton. A single heart with two souls, eternal love.
A locket, sealing the relation between Jenny and Warden Brighton. Decidedly, this boy is not a great poet.
My Jenny, let's get married. Never mind the consequences. Father will have to accept the fact that we are in love. Think about the baby and don't forget that I love you. Love you, I love you, I love you. Love you, love you. Love you, I love you. And I've written you a poem. Jenny Patterson, your heart pounds. Mine weighs a ton. Our love is no bounds. This goes on and on. I was inspired by the great Chinese poets to write it. Be courageous, my honey bun. Your Frankie.
A letter from Brighton to Jenny. Barely literate.
Apparently, Jenny is carrying Brighton's child, and it seems that Jenny's father, the director, is unaware of this.
Service sheet. Basement guard, Warden O'Sullivan. Reception, Warden Brighton. On call in the guards room, Warden Mackenzie. Coordination, Chief Warden James.
Here is the famous guard duty list. Interesting.
Oh, let's go. Discuss in.
We have found the guard duty cards, miss. If you like, I can go and discreetly give them to the guards.
Oh, thank you. You've got me out of a lot of trouble, Mr. Holmes.
Sorry, Mr. Holmes, you can't go into the basement for the moment.
For what reason?
The door has locked itself automatically. We must enter a new security code.
Do it, then.
Miss Patterson hasn't put up the guard duty list yet. Without that information, we don't know who's authorised to take note of the new code.
So Mackenzie is locked in the high security zone.
Yes, but don't worry about him. He's trained for this sort of dysfunction.
Why not ask the director to take note of the code and open the door?
He isn't allowed to, and I doubt that he would run the risk of going against the orders of the administration centre. Anyway, the bars in the high security section are joined to the alarm system, which is in that room. We only need to sound it to unblock, but you see, we can't do that now.
We'll try to find the duty list, Warden James.
We have found Chief Warden James's duty list.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Let's see. O'Sullivan, it's you who takes over from Mackenzie. Take note of the code, please, and unblock the door.
At once, Chief. Ah, Mr. Holmes, could I ask you for a favour?
Please do.
I think I can say on behalf of all the staff that we would be honoured if you would care to write something in our guest book.
With pleasure, O'Sullivan. You seem worn out, O'Sullivan. A good night's sleep would do you good.
A good night's sleep would do me good. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Is something worrying you?
As you know, Westgate Prison will soon
Oh
be
my
demolished.
goodness,
Spending
Siobhan!
most of my nights studying for my exams to join the police. You understand, I have to think about my future.
Yes.
So sleep isn't a priority at the moment.
Scotland Yard is always looking for young, competent and motivated men. Would a letter of recommendation from me allow you to get some sleep?
What? A letter from Mr. Sherlock Holmes recommending me for Scotland Yard? Are you quite serious?
Completely serious, my young friend.
Sorry,
May I
I'll
use this
chat now.
writing paper? The one on your desk.
1,000 thanks, Mr.
Please,
Holmes. A
help me
1,000
hold.
thanks.
It is addressed to Inspector Baines, a good friend of mine. There's no need to remind you that it must be opened only by the person to whom it is addressed.
Oh my god.
Yes, of course. I'll give it to him personally. Thank you again, Mr. Holmes.
All right, sorry about that. Hi, Raiders. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much, Shuard. Z-Man says hi, by the way. He is around doing some work and supper.
Oh my god, that actually worked.
Oh, there we go. There's the shouty. I was listening to your... He is barely keeping it together. Wishbone is doing his best, okay? And higher tapes. And anyone else who's in the raid who's new, my name is Luffpup. I am... I don't know what's going on with the shouty. I am a gamer, Alvin Princess. I love puzzle games and point and clicks mystery games. Oh, it's awesome to meet you too, Tapes of Battle. And we are doing a Sherlock Holmes September, in which I will be playing through...
Animal cruelty is the answer.
Okay. Apparently animal cruelty is the answer. Thank you for that. Those wise words, Shuard. I've already completed the previous one, which was Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. This is the Testament of Sherlock Holmes. And then there's 2 more games. But yeah, everyone's welcome in the Wild Forest. Anything's... go here. You can chill, you can chat.
Follow my channel for more life tips.
Alright, Shu, we will. Shu is awesome. I think this dog in the corner, he is smonking. But it's just a hunch.
What the fuck?
Why does this clip always play chopped up where the context goes the way? I don't know. Shu, but it's awesome. I love this clip. Yeah, so everyone, Shuard the Raid is really an awesome streamer. Please go check him out. And Bitch barely can keep it together with this clip. Yeah, no, true. And Shu, if you need to go take a break, eat, sleep, whatever, I understand. Streaming does take a lot of effort, and I heard the stream earlier with the voice modification. It sounded pretty awesome. So yeah, and enjoy.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
It is the guards.
At your...
Something tells me the warden down here is... Oh, he's fine. Okay.
Warden Mackenzie, at your service, sir.
I'm gonna have a sleep soon, but not too soon. Oh, okay. You have a good sleep when you do go to sleep.
Well, see you. Well,
you have what you wanted, your precious pen.
you seem annoyed, Mr. Holmes. I would even go so far as to say terribly worried.
Why should you care, Mr. Shielman? Let's talk about that poison.
I am not talking about you in the grip of natural emotions found in ordinary people who are confronted by the inexplicable. But as for Mr. Holmes, you are embarrassed, aren't you? Are you hiding something?
That is enough, Shielman.
You have kept your word. Therefore, I will keep mine. At this moment, the poison which so interests you isn't finished yet. Its maker is encountering great difficulties in attaining the desired results.
What is the end result?
Now, Mr. Holmes, the end result of any science, as Descartes once said, to become the master and owner of nature. Here we are talking about human nature, of course. And the creator's problem isn't so much the mixture as the durability of his creation.
What do you mean?
You see, this poison was made using rare but very volatile short-living compounds, which means that it is only possible to produce small quantities, which most importantly do not keep for a long time. Conceiving such a product in a laboratory especially built for the purpose could be achieved by any good chemist. But recopying this alchemy on another scale and keeping it ready at any moment, observing the particular conservation and storing conditions that a substance of this type requires, well, that would need a genius. I doubt if the creator of this mixture would be capable.
And you would be, of course.
Of course.
Luckily, you are going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Luck is cyclical. It always comes around again, sooner or later.
I will read now,
As
Sherlock.
far as I am concerned, I have the feeling that the cycle is going to be very short.
Holmes, it sounds to me as though this shieldman is implying that an escape attempt will be made.
Yes, we must go and warn the director.
By the way, you brought up the voice modification. Funny story about that. I just got a random VST plugin which has an option to put any audio source through various effects. Long story short, you could put your voice through electric guitar effects with it. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the cutscenes in this one is quite a bit longer than in the previous game, so. But I do like the details they put into the story.
Closed.
It is out of the question that your bastard is named Patterson. Very well. You refuse to reveal the father to me? Well, then go and join him. I'm not stopping you.
I can't.
Director, you will have to postpone this small family reunion. We believe that a serious scheme is afoot. We must act without delay.
You're not thinking of...
Yes, Shieldman's words leave no room for doubt. It seems that he is planning an escape attempt. We strongly advise you to search his cell.
Do you really believe that he's hiding something? Because I must make an official report and have a legitimate reason for doing a search.
Director, if this prison is still in operation, it is solely because of its reputation. Think of the consequences of an escape. It would be closed at once. And what post do you imagine would be offered to the person deemed responsible?
You're right. No one will escape from Westgate under Patterson. I will order an immediate search of Mr. Shieldman's cell.
Chief Warden James reporting. The search of prisoner Hans Shieldman's cell has been carried out. No suspicious items were found.
Thank you, Chief James. I feel better now. Without wishing to offend you, Mr. Holmes, I am glad that you were mistaken.
If I'm not mistaken, we've nothing more to do here. Shall we go, Holmes?
There's just one more thing for me to see, Watson.
What's that?
Mr. Holmes, sorry to interrupt you, but Miss Jenny wishes to see you alone. She's waiting for you in her office.
This, Watson.
How did you know?
Wait for me in the guard's room. I won't be long.
What an extraordinary gentleman that Sherlock Holmes is. You must have had lots of adventures with him.
Oh, yes, dozens.
Thought he was infallible, but there wasn't anything out of the way in the rat killer's cell. Could he have been mistaken?
I must admit...
Warden Brighton, in my office immediately. That's an order.
The director seems furious.
Yes, it must be important for him to order Brighton to leave his post.
I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
Did you hear that?
Yes, that's not normal. I've never heard Flint shout like that.
But why doesn't O'Sullivan sound the alarm?
Follow me, Mackenzie. Let's go and have a look.
I'll come with you.
No, Dr. Watson, you're not allowed in. Wait for me here.
Very well.
Hey, but the grill is blocked, Chief.
We've been locked in. And that smoke, it's coming from below. O'Sullivan, can you hear us?
Sully, are you alive? Answer us, Sully.
What's going on? Can I help you?
Sound the alarm in the guard's room. That should unblock the door. Be quick. O'Sullivan might be in danger.
What?
I must sound the alarm.
Where's the alarm go?
I must sound...
I'm probably in the guard's room. Wait.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Hey, what are you waiting for to sound the alarm, Doctor?
It's impossible. It's been damaged. I'll run and warn the director.
No, Doctor. Our priority is to save O'Sullivan. Go ahead through the visitors' corridor and see if he answers your call.
Very well.
Take the keys. They're in our room.
Locked. Locked.
Quick, Dr. Watson. Sully might be in danger.
The guards must... It doesn't work. There is nothing interesting here. There is no... There is no... There is no... There is... There is nothing. There is...
I love how the cursor turns into a pipe for interaction. It's actually a finger.
I must sound the alarm.
Finger or
I
a
must sound the
magnifying
alarm.
glass. Pipe in the shoes. The pipe is kind of just for rest mode, and then the shoes are for movement.
The door is locked, and I can hear shouting and crying. We're in the middle of some family drama, so there's no chance of them hearing me.
Up. Focus now, look.
It doesn't work.
Quick, Doc.
Locked.
We must get O'Sullivan.
That was big slime thing.
It doesn't work.
Useless! This door is blocked by the timer, but not the one below! Give me the keys! Quickly! I've got the keys, Doctor. Thank you.
Follow me, Watson. We must repair the alarm.
Finally! There you are, Holmes.
I'm going to turn on the system. Watson, you make sure of the contact.
I hope that this isn't dangerous.
I'm going to turn on the system. Watson, you make sure of the contact.
I hope that this isn't dangerous.
Come on. Okay, that didn't work.
It works.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's open. Let's go down.
Be careful. From what your colleague said, the flints are out.
We are trained for this sort of situation. And we're armed.
Come and help us, Watson.
Everything is back to normal. Thank you for your help, gentlemen.
It was a pleasure.
But where is O'Sullivan?
He's no longer here. He must have gone out through the visitor's entrance.
Yes, and he must be pleased to have gotten out of the basement.
Good. We must now check
I
all the
was simply
cells.
going to ask
The
for a
procedure in
teeny
case he
I
tiny-
never
I was simply
think
going to
you
come and
would.
help you. Teeny tiny
You are
glass
evidently fond of
of
wasting
water.
time. my
I
dear
was simply
fellow.
going to ask
Rejoin
for
me at the
teeny
reception.
tiny I was simply going to ask. I was simply going to ask for
tiny
glass of water. Of water.
Sorry. I'll get some hydrate now. Thanks, Neva. If we must check all the cells, it's come and help you. You're evidently fond of wasting time, my dear fellow. Join me at the reception when you're finished. I know what we're gonna find. Yeah.
The grate is open. This is alarming. He's fine where he is, under the cover, still.
How can he sleep with all this noise?
I'll admit it's not normal. Perhaps the smoke has poisoned him. I had better take a look.
Be careful, Doctor. He is dangerous.
Ding 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 ding. I've redeemed stand into a cistern. Yeah. Alright.
O'Sullivan?
It's impossible. He was with us only a few moments ago. Or else...
Or else it wasn't O'Sullivan.
My God, he's escaped. The rat killer has escaped.
Yep.
The door is locked. I must walk.
I couldn't see him in the reception area. Oh, he is.
I must warn Holmes. Ah, Holmes, there you are. Hans has escaped. I fear that this inquiry is a bitter defeat for us.
Not at all, my dear fellow. Quite the contrary. Follow me.
Why the devil have you brought me behind the prison?
We have an appointment, Watson. Look who is waiting for us.
Shieldman, I'll go back and alert the guards.
Calm down. He's harmless.
But what is he doing here? Why hasn't he run away?
Because I asked him not to.
Are you telling me that you helped him to escape?
Quite so, as he wouldn't have been able to do so alone.
But how? And why? He's a dangerous madman. Holmes, you've made me an accomplice in this escape. You owe me some explanation.
And you will have them. But my priority for the moment is to remove our new friend to a safe place. I won't be long, but I must go alone. I'll rejoin you later. Just give me your next destination.
Very well. I suppose you know what you're doing.
How could you doubt it? Here, take the notes. They will help you when you write up the account of our visit to Westgate. So, where do I find you?
The next step of our investigation should take place in the Whitechapel area.
Good. Go then, and I'll rejoin you there.
Holmes' notes regarding the way that he helped Hunt Shulman to escape from prison are so extraordinary that I would feel it would be better to transcribe word for word the conversation that we had afterwards regarding this matter. I felt the impatience in my friend's look. However, he delayed relaying to me the details of his incredible achievement. He began by telling me about Hunt Shulman's fountain pen. This is what he said. The key to the escape was actually Hunt Shulman's fountain pen. I discovered a note inside Shulman's locker. I can quote to you from memory. Whoever is smart enough to open this case should know that a couple of drops of my masterpiece are mixed together with the ink inside the pen's reservoir. If you are reading this note, it means that I am in a tight spot. So, understand that my special ink will temporarily destroy the will of anyone it touches. Therefore, you have a few precious seconds during which you can shape the subject's will. If you recognize my genius, use this knowledge to get me out of the embarrassing situation that I am undoubtedly in. Shulman had left this instrument for his future escape inside a case secured by a devious combination. That way he could ensure that none of the prison staff would find it, other than a well-informed friend. Understanding this, I decided to play along with him, but with a double game of my own. I would help him to escape, but I would also keep him under control by using his own creation on him. I allowed Shulman to commence the game by giving him his pen, and I started to advance my pawns. My first move was to persuade the director that it was necessary to search the cell, and therefore pass the ball into Shulman's court by giving him the opportunity with Warden James. He did not waste it. He coated the bars of his cell with the poison ink, and Warden James, whose hands were contaminated, was under the control for a few seconds. He discreetly and quite simply ordered James to give him the keys. The ball was then back in my court. Now I had to find a way of neutralizing Warden O'Sullivan, who was to be in the basement guard, as we discovered when we found Miss Patterson's duty sheet. I must admit that the young warden helped me enormously by asking me to sign the prison visitors book. Absorbed in the tale, I went over the chronology of events in my mind, and I remarked that Holmes had already signed the visitors book before giving Shulman his pen. He replied in the most annoyed tone, "Exactly. I anticipated it. And it was because of that I managed to get a step ahead in my game with Shulman. I was leading the race, and all the while he believed it to be the other way around. Shulman did not suspect that I had already used his poison, and thought that O'Sullivan's being asleep was a godsend. He therefore was not suspicious about the letter of reference that he found in the warden's pocket. Holmes then returned to the point which he had broken from his tale to point out to me that the lack of pertinence on my remark. "Hey, Ruby, things are going well. Shame, can't you sleep?" I am just gonna go get water quickly because I need to do hydrates. So I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, I'm back. Oh, sorry. I thought you said you're gonna go to sleep. My mistake. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So at least O'Sullivan isn't dead. He's just sleeping. That's good. And I remember now that Sherlock said to him, you could do with a good rest just before he went down for his duty. So that's when he manipulated him. But do not put the cart before the horse, Watson. No, I said I slept too much last night. Okay. Do let me continue. So, by merely touching the fresh ink on the page in the visitor's book, O'Sullivan was under my control. I suggested a state of advanced drowsiness, but ordered him not to do anything immediately. Just sufficient enough for him to be unable to resist a siesta during his guard duty. Later, after the changing of the guard, Shieldman used the keys to let himself out of his cell. He hit the sleeping O'Sullivan over the head and exchanged his prison uniform for the warden's. Then he created a smoke screen by using the ingredients that I have given to him. Sugar from Miss Patterson's tea tray. Oh, okay. Hope you find something nice to eat. Brighton's bicarbonate of soda, potassium nitrate from the guard's room, and sulfur from a few matches. He used the keys again, 3 Flint brothers. The two ruffians leapt at each other's throats, made a very dickens of a noise. He had a diversion he needed to leave, the high security area, and that is the moment where you entered the game, Watson. Thinking that you were helping O'Sullivan, you allowed Hans Shieldman to open the corridor annex's bars by throwing him the keys. On my side, I opened the second knot by turning the alarm on again. In light of Holmes's explanation, I began to see my actions during this episode from quite another angle. I was troubled by the way he had used me without my having any idea at the time the duplicity of my actions. I interrupted his monologue to refer to the guards who had not realized what was happening and who were occupied with restraining the Flint brothers. Holmes continued. Sorry. Exactly. So there was now only one obstacle in front of Shieldman, Morton Brighton, from the reception desk at the front building. I interrupted him again. But it was the director who summoned him up so insistently, Holmes. You won't have me believe that he was an accomplice in this escape. Of course not. I provoked the director's rage towards Brighton. Too impatient, I could not stop myself from asking. I discovered that Jenny Patterson and Brighton were lovers. I also knew that the director did not have any idea about their affair, and that he would surely fall into foul rage if he found out. I asked him if that was the reason why Miss Patterson had been summoned. Yes, she knew that I had opened her locket to find the guard duty list, and so she knew that I was aware of her affair with Brighton. She wanted to make sure that I would not say anything. I found it out that it had been rather unfeeling on his part to have told the director everything. Huh? I pointed out that it had been rather unfeeling on his part to have told the director everything, reminding him of the promise to the young woman. He denied it in a somewhat hypocritical manner. I did not say anything. I simply left the lovers' letters inside the urgent correspondence box in the secretary's office, knowing that they would be delivered to him a few minutes later, thereby provoking his anger. The director shouted at Brighton, who rushed off to the secretary's office. Human now had nothing to stand between him and the front door. Another question leapt into my mind, and not the least important one. Why did he not simply run away once he was outside? Why did he wait? I was not disappointed by my friend's answer. It was evident, my dear Watson, if he did not run away, then it was only thanks to that aforementioned step ahead of which I told you. It gave me enough time to write a letter of recommendation for O'Sullivan with the poison pen. It was in the pocket of the uniform, and Schulman could not resist reading it when he found it. But what was written in the letter? Not very much, just congratulations on your escape. Wait for me here, I gaped at him. And that is how the first and only escape from the most inviolable prison in the kingdom came to pass. Scenario which, without doubt, will prove to be the focus of police college studies for a very long time to come, as one of the most extraordinary escapes in the history of modern prison. So, oh, Ruby says hi, but Ruby's already in lurk mode. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Here we are in the heart of Whitechapel. Keep an eye on your wallet, Holmes. This area is the highest for pickpockets in all of the kingdom.
Don't worry about my wallet, Watson. It would be easier to move Big Ben than to steal from me.
Or to borrow a shilling from you.
Amusing, Watson. Really very amusing. Can we move on to more serious matters?
I'm listening, Holmes.
You ain't from round here. You shouldn't stay here. It ain't healthy.
No, it is unnecessary.
A cab builder. Nothing interesting.
You ain't from round here.
There's nothing left at all. I have to close. Oh, what misery.
No, it is unnecessary.
We haven't got a home or any work. What will become of us?
They leave us to die like dogs.
Place has gone downhill in 10 years.
Bucks Row, where Polly Nichols met her death under the knife of the Ripper. Buck. Bucks.
No. Whitechapel Street. We are in one of the main areas in the district.
You ain't from...
Whitechapel.
Alright, enjoy.
Queue up like everyone else. They'll only hire the first one anyway.
A lot of foreigners have opened shops in this area.
Queue up.
Whitechapel's.
A lot of...
There's nothing left at all.
White.
What do you think, Holmes?
Wonder if the...
Whitechapel.
Ah, misery is a terrible thing. Ah.
My husband can't pay the rent. We've got nowhere to go.
Berners Street. Berners Street. Here's the public dispensary that we're looking for.
I'm starving. Help me for pity's sake.
It's still the same doctor. My goodness.
Good day. Please excuse us. Oh, Grant, is it you?
Yes.
Oh no, it's a different
But wait
doctor.
a moment. Watson. It's been years. Since the Faculty of Medicine, if my memory serves me right.
Yes, we were young and ambitious. I didn't expect to find you here. I thought you had gone to America.
No. I find that I prefer the filth here, amputating gangrenous legs.
Ah.
I'm joking, Watson. Unfortunately, I was unable to leave for Washington. I had to give up surgery. So instead, I crouched down in this rat hole, rubbing shoulders with the world's misery.
Grant, treating those in need is a noble calling. You underestimate the importance of your work.
If you say so. It's true that in the beginning I felt as you do, but as time goes by, the more this cursed area seems like hell. You think that nothing can get worse, and the next day you see that it can. Now famine has hit these poor wretches.
One can't always do as one might prefer when one is a doctor.
Grant, I'd like to introduce you to Sherlock Holmes.
Pleased to meet you. Well, no one comes here by chance, therefore I imagine that you need something in particular. How can I help you?
Dr. Grant, we are in possession of a scalpel which was found in an unusual location. Does it come from your dispensary, as we believe?
From its mark, I'd say it was stolen from us. A lot of things disappear from here, you understand. Life is hard in Whitechapel. When the staff find a way of adding to their salary, they rarely hesitate to do so.
Thank you, Doctor. Farewell, Doctor.
See you soon, perhaps. And take care of yourself.
Oh.
Oi, oi! We're giving out free soup after Mass, right here. Don't hesitate. Come get yours. All thanks to Prince Woodville's kind generosity. A ticket for a hot bowl of bacon soup.
Excuse me, my good fellow.
You don't look like the needy.
We're not here for the soup, we're merely passing through. But I would like to commend you for your good charity.
Nah, it's the Prince of Woodville who's the charitable one. All I'm doing is filling the bowls. For the first time ever in this area, someone's thinking of the poor people here. Look around you. At every street corner, you'll find someone giving out soup just like me. I grew up here, and I can promise you, it's the first time the toffs have thought about us.
And no one tries to take advantage of this?
No, mister, that's not possible. You have to exchange a ticket against a bowl. The tickets have the day's date on them, and are handed out after Mass. That way no one can cheat.
Holmes, the man from the soup kitchen isn't only in voluntary service. Look.
A money game.
Aren't you gonna leave me alone? Can't you see I'm busy?
Come on. Watson, oi.
I'm starving. Help me, for pity's sake.
Sorry, I just noticed something. That box doesn't seem... Yes. Nope. Doesn't seem like the chat box wants to work tonight. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Whitechapel Street.
Buy my flowers, my lord, for your dear departed.
Ooh.
This cemetery is the very image of Whitechapel. Sinister, frightening, and ill-kept. What a terrible place for one's final rest.
At least hunger no longer gnaws at them.
Very true. Still a sad image.
Let us see if the elements analyzed in Baker Street and this cemetery have something in common. This rope is only worn on one side. This rope, the rope used to tie up the Bishop of Knightsbridge, came from this cemetery. It is only worn on the one side because it is used to lower coffins into graves. Impossible to open it.
Leaflet. Distribution for 19th September. Through the generation of Prince Woodville, a new distribution of soup is being arranged within the Whitechapel area. This voucher is valid for a meal on 19th September in any distribution area. Kurtz, don't forget to pick up the tools at the cemetery and don't be late this time. Grape Ape. Okay.
A leaflet for the soup kitchen. This leaflet is dated for the day after tomorrow. The tickets for the soup kitchen are given out on the same day. Only somebody who works there could have written on it. This shovel belongs to the cemetery workers. Impossible to open it. Impossible to open it.
Wait, there's something written on this. Examine it. What a wonderful place to make a love note on a tree. Let us see if the elements analyzed in Baker Street and this cemetery have something in common. Granite. These stones are of the same granite. Let us see if the granite. Black. Granite. The same black paint covers these stones. This black painted stone is identical to the fragments found in the rope which we analyzed at Baker Street and in the footprints of the Bishop of Knightsbridge's murderers. This must be the gravedigger's cabin.
Well, judging by the state of this place, they don't work very often.
Let us see if the elements analyzed in Baker Street and this cemetery have something in common. Earth freshly turned over, still damp. Black and damp earth. This dark, damp earth is the same type as that which was found at the Bishop of Knightsbridge's home.
It came from a grave, then. Oh, what a lovely thought.
Everything coincides, Watson. The fragments of granite at the bishop's home came from the tombstones of this cemetery.
As well as the rope that was used to restrain the poor man. One of those used to lower the coffins.
I can think of only two reasons why anyone should happen to spend a great deal of time in a cemetery. Either he is at rest here, or he works here. At least one of the bishop's murderers is employed here.
A shame. If he was at rest here, it would have made our job easier.
Are you gonna... A bowl of good bacon soup isn't for you, gentlemen.
We're looking for two people called Grape Ape and Kurtz. Do you know them?
Can't you see I'm giving out soup? You again. You can't have any soup, you're too rich. It's for the poor, not the toffs.
And what would you say to relieving two toffs of their wallets by giving them a chance at dice?
With great pleasure. What do you want to bet?
Your ring against my friend's superb silver watch.
Holmes! I inherited this watch from my brother. It has a great sentimental value.
Watson, show your watch to our friend here.
Done. Make yourselves at home. All right, mister. First who gets 36 points wins.
By rolling a die, you must reach 36 points in order to... Die shows... Gosh, die shows got all your points for the move are lost. That is... There we go. That's 6, that's 31. No. Come on. Oh, need 3 more points. There we go.
Perfect.
Aren't you gonna leave me alone? Can't you see I'm busy?
We win.
Hey, not so fast. We'll play a game.
Out of the question. You have lost. You owe me your ring.
Oh, it means a lot to me, this ring. Me dad gave it me before he died. He choked on his own glass eye. Me mum didn't get over the shock of it, and she killed herself by smashing her head open with a wooden leg. And she'd only just heard that me sister, who's a prostitute, had caught an embarrassing disease that made all her hair fall out. And worse, our dog got run over when he...
As this ring holds such sentimental value for you, I will allow you to keep it. What would you say to exchanging that against some information about Grape Ape? That seems like a fair deal, don't you think?
Yeah, Grape Ape works with us. He usually deals with the tickets, but we haven't seen him for a few days.
Where is he usually to be found?
Well, last time I saw him, he was with his mates from the dispensary, them that deal with the morgue. Now, that's all I know.
It is quite good enough. Keep your ring, my good man, as a souvenir of your poor father.
A souvenir of me dad, me mum, me sister, and me dog.
One further thing. You said that Grape Ape's friends work at the morgue. Which morgue?
The morgue at the dispensary. I must say, they got a funny job. They wash the dead, dress them, cut their hair, they clean the blood off the floor, chase the rats, stamp on the cockroaches. Mister, I can tell ya, I prefer giving out soup.
There isn't a certain Kurtz amongst the employees.
Listen, we didn't play for info about the whole city. I'm not telling you anything else.
The dispensary has got its own morgue. Interesting.
Well, yeah, I've just told you so. It's the one that all the undertakers prefer. Think about it. It's just next to the cemetery.
Thank you, my good man. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, mister.
Back to the dispensary.
This stove is hardly working. That would explain the damp around here.
Incredible. My colleague could at least keep a good fire going for his patients.
Like all the sick lying here, this person is very quiet.
Not surprising, Holmes, this person is too weak. She's obviously suffering from malnutrition, and for more than a few weeks now.
Like all the...
Not so...
Closed.
Nicely. And milk.
How can I help you?
Tell me, Doctor, do you have a morgue in your dispensary?
Yes, it is the busiest place in the building.
We would like to see it.
The door at the far end. The one with the unpleasant smell.
Very good. Farewell, Doctor.
See you soon, perhaps. And take care of yourself.
Look, Holmes, a list of the recently dead. How sad.
I see names that have something in common.
List of the recent deaths from the morgue to the cemetery. Sarah Ferguson, 56 years old, died of malnutrition. Oliver Boxall, 14 years old, died of malnutrition. David Levy, 45 years old, died of malnutrition. Sally Petticoat, 17 years old. John Hamilton, 19 years old. Same cause of death, suicide by poisoning. To be buried in the same part of the seminary. They were going to be married. Game. James Barnaby, 32 years old. Killed by 23 knife wound. Harry Copperfield, 65 years old. Died of exhaustion and malnutrition.
I understand now why my colleague keeps quiet about his morgue. This place is a real mess.
Concentrate, Watson. We must look for clues about Grape Ape's friends. This is Kurtz's overall, so he really does work at the morgue. Strange that he left his overall here.
Holmes, this is Kurtz. We've just found one of the Bishop of Nicebridge's murderers.
I need something. I need something. I need...
How can I help you?
Farewell, Doctor.
See you.
What do you think?
Finally. Over there.
Look at the state of the instruments. They've probably never been cleaned.
Perfect. I need something.
We must find the place indicated with the cross on the map we found in the morning.
Put that in my... Yeah. That's the... Either this...
The rope used to... closed.
That's the other one. Oh, but there's X. Oh.
This shovel belongs to the cemetery workers.
But there's the church.
Impossible to open it.
Nothing is. Gambler, you never failed to play the game. First lost. Verita. Sunbreak, trusty comrade. Done. Fine loafer. In the makings of a fine loafer. Next one.
The rope used to tie up the Bishop of... Impossible to open it.
Probably else. So oh. Yep. It
Good day.
Yes?
Yeah.
No.
Ah, Grant.
If you think...
One...
Grant?
Pleased to meet...
Dr.
From it.
Thank you, Doctor. Farewell,
See
Doctor.
this is all books. I think. Oh. I think this is a good place to end. Write the message. Good job. Yeah. Much. I know I want to trade. They just started their stream. You all know them. Hopefully love them like I do. Yeah, thank you to Metallic Z-Man, Rassos, Papa Wolf, The Only Ruby, Lord Casero, Alien Gathering, and Morgaine 2K7. Thank you so much for being with me for the stream. I'm sorry about the freezing at the end, but I'm not redoing the whole cemetery part now again. It's getting late, but yeah, it's been a fun evening, and I hope you enjoy what you're gonna do now. So let's go show some love to the next streamer, and until we see each other again, please stay safe, stay beautiful, and remember, I love all my sprites. Bye now.